once again to Kray-Z Comics and Stories. It's me, your charming and delightful old Uncle Rat Bastard. And at the other end of the series of tubes and wires we call the internets is Joe, Kray-Z Writer. How you doing today, Joe?
Good evening. This is Edgar Church. When I'm not stockpiling every Golden Age comic straight from the newsstand to an oily pallet in my damp basement, I get my jollies from Kray-Z Comics and Stories on the solitary rose internets.
Why, thank you, Edgar. And Jin, how are you doing tonight?
I'm here, and sometimes that's all you can ask for.
That's pretty much what I tell my employers. Well, hopefully Joe will show up. Who is it?
Hell? Butch, what the hell are you doing down here?
What do you mean, what am I doing here? We're recording episode 200.
Oh, that was over with last week. Didn't Cory tell you to stop talking?
No, I've been going on this entire time. Cory.
Oh, my gosh.
Can I?
Well, I haven't been recording.
Oh, you're in episode 201 now, Bub.
Oh, God damn it. Okay, I'm going to have to make some calls.
All right. Oh, you know, Cory, you really should have told him it was over.
I told you guys I had to go to work.
Oh, but you didn't say you stopped recording. We thought, oh, now I feel bad. Butch, I'm sorry I locked you in. Honestly, I thought it was a rabid cat.
Not now, I'm in the bathroom.
Oh, sorry. It's been a while, a week to hold it. Hey, excuse me a second. Hey, Butch, go ahead. Feel free to use the shower, too.
What's this cat box for?
Well, never mind.
That's for when I visit.
Oh, I'm all freshened up.
Okay, that's good. Well, as long as you're here, hang around. We're going to do episode 201.
Okay.
Hey, Jennifer's here, and
Wow, he sounds great.
some other bum.
Sound great for having talked for the last week straight.
Oh,
What kind of mic do you have?
Thought I was Edgar Church.
how many hours is that?
It's like 48 hours.
At least. Let's see, 24 times.
There we go.
So Cory's got 247 hours of you talking. Wow, that's
Hello.
that's
Hello.
one podcast.
And now Daniel's here. This is the most crowded the podcast has ever been.
Yay.
The gang's all here.
Yes, everyone who's ever been on Kray-Z Comics and Stories, except for one guy.
4 women, 1 guy. Good work.
Wait.
Am I doing the math wrong?
I was told there would be no math.
Yeah, there's an extra, and I don't even see him on the thing, so, you know.
Well, after episode 200, I decided that I'm tired and I'm done. So I'm just gonna, I thought I'd have everybody on and, let chaos ensue.
I think that's a good idea.
You think he'd done a marathon a week straight?
I know.
You think
Cory's
I've been
lazy, we all
talking
know
for
that.
a week? And getting lazier.
Okay, can you guys hear me now?
I can't.
We could hear you the whole time.
No, I don't think he was saying anything. I couldn't hear it.
No, I think I was on
Hello?
mute and didn't know it.
Hello?
How's your
Hello.
voice changing that way? That's kind of, it's like you're up, you're down, you're male, you're female. How are you doing that? That's very
I'm
very
impressed.
Hello.
Sound off. Hello.
Clever. Hello.
Hello.
Hello? Hello?
Hi.
Ah, there's the Three Stooges music.
People all across the internet are saying goodbye.
Except there are 5 of us.
I
there
wasted
5?
valuable space on my phone to download this.
Wait. There were 5 Stooges, weren't there? Yeah, crap. That makes me Curly Joe.
These are on the what now?
So how's everyone been? Joe, how have you been since the big episode 200? Since the monumental episode 200? Since oh, come on. It was just a wet fart in church.
Wasn't that wet?
How have you been? What's up?
Sitting there holding pew. Well, it's hard to say because we got together and we were moving some very stylish furniture from one part of the suburbs to the other.
Yeah. Joe, can I fill your house with stuff too?
I'm sorry, my comic shops beat you to it. Not to mention my daughter when she come home from Italy.
She brought Italy back with her?
The stuff the Pope wasn't using in the Mafia, yeah.
Okay. Daniel, do you have any room in your house? I remember when you had a much bigger house and there was no room in it.
Yeah, and we tried to put the entire bigger house into the small one. No, I don't think so.
Minneapolis Craigslist is like amazing. Houston's is full of overpriced garbage, and Minneapolis Craigslist is full of all this super cheap, amazing, like retro furniture. It's wonderful.
It's because we're full of super cheap retro old people.
Hey, I'm not complaining.
Cory would know.
Just because I get to spend my weekends with them.
Oh, I was thinking you were one.
Hey.
What?
You know, I have control of the edit here.
I know.
You're not gonna do anything. You don't scare me.
Never miss out. That shows again. Xfinity has.
We have a commercial for
Well,
Xfinity.
God, those bastards are everywhere.
Good God.
Oh wow, I found something I need.
Okay, nobody move. Xfinity is in the room. Ah!
What the hell?
Oh, yeah.
Stop it! Stop it!
Ah,
Oh, I've seen this episode 3 times.
I just wanted to make Dan feel
Oh, yeah.
Where is
Oh, yeah.
LeSueur?
I've got wood.
LeSueur?
LeSueur, yes. Why do you want to know where that is?
That's the home of the Green Giant.
Yes.
Cause there's this really like awesome cedar chest for sale.
No,
I have no more room.
No. That is not close enough just to run down and grab something.
Everything's on Netflix now. Just dump them out.
Oh, God.
You can put them in the cedar chest.
Yes. See? Now you'd have more room.
Sold.
You know, when I periscoped a little earlier today, I did show people the setup and how my living room is now being invaded by huge oak furniture. So big, I have to put it on its side.
Yeah, I was actually getting worried that it might tumble on top of you when you drifted off on the couch or something. So it's good to hear you.
Well, you know, I'm not buried under furniture yet.
Well, it's just a month.
Yeah. Yet I don't need to walk it through the house anyway.
Cory can be really clumsy in 1 month.
You kidding? I can be clumsy in an hour.
You better not break my shit. Not making you pie.
I don't have any pie from you anyway.
Well, you would if you don't break it.
Uh-huh.
Hey, here it is. It's on YouTube here. Cray-Z Comics and Stories, episode 200. Wow. After over 5 years, 199 episodes, endless shenanigans, freaking geeking, and bad jokes from Cory. Joe, who's this Joe guy? Oh,
I don't know. We're probably getting rid of him after Superboy punches a wall.
ugh.
I didn't listen to that one. I'm not in it.
You didn't miss much. I was singing a lot too. It was very liberating.
What would you do without me to tell Joe to shut
It was
up?
I gave up. Matter of fact, I think Butch, how many points did you say? Cory, are you still on this episode?
I quit counting at 3. Okay, here, I'm by the microphone. You can talk to me.
Okay.
Well, that's
I'm going
good.
over here.
Yeah. Joe's got a cool room to walk around in.
You must be at your place.
Hey, $10 to Dan.
You said it was a cool room to walk around in. It couldn't have been
Yeah.
Joe's.
Oh no, radio secrets given away.
Breaking kayfabe.
What's that mean?
Yeah, we'll tell you later.
When you grow
If I
up.
told you, break kayfabe.
You say that all the time.
I told you. It would break kayfabe.
So since Joe, we still has yet to tell us how we are. Dan,
Yeah,
you haven't been on since the convention.
that,
How have you been? What's up?
that's true. Don't put me on the spot. I don't.
Too late. Talk, monkey boy.
Hey, wait a minute. Whoa. I thought we talked about
Wolfie
this.
on.
I'm an orangutan. Put Wolfie on?
Yeah.
Holy crap. I have a request. That's.
What do you want to know? I'm good. I'm here. I'm up all the time. What do you want?
You got him right there?
Oh, of course I do.
Oh, wow, that's great.
Yeah, I have to keep him in line because if he doesn't do that, he doesn't do any drawing.
Is Dan's kennel clean?
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
No. He's a mess. He's a mess. I mean, he's shitting in every corner.
Wait, Dan does drawings?
Well, he says he does, but I'm the one that does it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was going to say, I don't think Everyday Gods or some other crappy strip has been updated in quite a while.
No, it hasn't. That's because he's had his hand up my ass this entire time.
Yeah, he draws as slow as Jim Sternanko. Jen, how have you been since 2 episodes ago?
What?
How have you been since 2 episodes ago? We're catching up. We're letting the people know about the crew.
I'm pretty good. I'm just, getting ready to move. So I'm just packing and deciding what I want to take and what I want to leave and making you pick up furniture for me. It's all good.
And will there be a huge bonfire of the things you don't want?
No, I've been selling and giving things away and just throwing stuff in the trash. It's nothing vindictive. It's just clearing out stuff.
But fire is good.
I know.
Yeah, I was
cleansing fire.
Me,
Yes.
I don't ever want to have to move, but I know that I may, and I've decided that rather than move, I'm just going to burn the place down and start somewhere else new with a new name and a new identity.
Well, I was really tempted to just get rid of everything and just take my clothes and completely start over, but I got some nice cooking pots and a really nice desk chair, so we're gonna get the 6x12 trailer and just take what fits and leave what don't.
And how many Waffle Houses will you visit on the way up?
Probably none. I don't remember passing very many the last time I drove up to Minneapolis, so we'll probably stop in Kansas City. It cuts it into about 2 9-hour drives, and I'll have to go a little slower because of the trailer, so.
And I just want to let you know there are no Waffle Houses up here in Minnesota because, well, we don't allow them.
I'm aware that there's not a lot of things there.
But we have Pannekuchen.
What?
We do?
Yeah,
There's one left?
I believe so. Last time I checked, there was. I think it's only one, but
Well, better go check.
You're taking me to that little diner that I did not get to go to last time that I was told I would get to go to and then did not.
I didn't tell you I was going to take you to any diner.
I'm not talking to you.
Well, you talked after me.
I don't give a shit.
Well, look, if you're going to be confusing, then be confusing, but, don't be confusing.
Corey, you were
Unless
taking
you're
me to that
confusing.
fucking diner. The one that you showed me a picture and said, let's go here. And I said, yes, please. And then we didn't go there. We went to fucking Perkins.
I love it.
And I will be polite and not explain why. That someone said, I don't want to go downtown. I just want to get to the hotel and sleep.
And then I ended up downtown anyway because your exits are labeled terribly.
Well, St. Paul was laid out by drunken Irish.
And some guy honked at me while I was driving downtown, and I'm like, don't you fucking see the Texas plate on my truck? You get out of my way.
She's from Texas. She probably has semi-automatic machine guns installed in the truck.
I have a lot of things.
But that's not why we're here today.
Why are we here?
I don't know, Joe. Why are we here?
Passing of Crazy Comics and Stories after its 200th episode.
Somebody sing Danny Boy.
No.
Not you, Joe.
Oh, damn it. I'm going to Google the lyrics.
How about I have Ave Maria?
Sing it like Dr. Zoidberg.
That would be good.
Ave Maria. That's it.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
So no one knows why we're here.
No one knows.
We were supposed to talk about Transformers, I thought.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll see you later.
Bye.
Be great.
Checking out.
You guys have fun.
What?
Doc Brown, creating an acid. It was a
Goddamn
reflux
boys. I
capacity.
hate them. I hate them.
I love doing that to him.
Are we back yet?
What?
Are you done with the Transformers?
We can talk about like the pre-show show for FallCon.
FallCon.
The pre-show.
Wow. Yeah.
I like that because we all know FallCon, the
Because
comic
I'm going
book
to be
party,
there.
will be October 10th, 2015, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on 240 minutes extreme comic book action, The One Day Wonder, on Saturday.
Joe's like a robot. You just have to say FallCon.
Minnesota State Fairgrounds Education Building. Go to www.mcba.comiccons.com. Probably no dot in between the MCBA and Comic Cons. And they'll give you all the information. If you got anything you need to know, be it dealers, creators, or you just want to know the square velocity of a coconut-laden swallow, mcbaquestions@gmail.com.
It's like
We
a,
will
Will
see
they have
you
tag?
all.
it's like a Pavlovian response. Joe, are you salivating?
I look at me, I'm drooling. I just can't,
Okay.
it's just too much.
Will they have Tang?
Why would they have Tang at a comic convention?
Why wouldn't
Well,
they?
you said any question.
Mhm.
Why can't I get no Tang round here?
Tuesday.
I like this guy. He has a nice
Well,
mic.
one of the things that Joe and I talked about last week was our early when we were little.
What is going on?
Oh, shit.
Joe's entire room is collapsing. Furnace.
I'll beat you senseless. You son of a bitch. Ow!
Holy crap, a little man ran out.
That was art.
Joe, put your pants back on.
Sorry.
Joe's not wearing any pants. Joke's on you.
Furnace is behaving itself.
And Joe's not wearing any pants.
Nobody is going to listen to this.
Well, I thought that was the little guy that ran out.
Why don't they talk about comics?
I hate comics.
What are comics?
Hey, Butch, you want to see my chainsaw hockey mask?
What's a comic? Hey, in further news, I still haven't read Saga.
Oh, that's good.
I have the books, but
I bet I know why you haven't read Saga.
'cause it's a comic.
Because Jin hates comics.
Yeah, I'm gonna read it though. I promised Mark I would read it.
You think
I'm gonna
they'll
read
start
it and
picking
talk
up,
about
or
it
I'm gonna
on-
read it.
I've been trying to get you to read comics since 1999. This Johnny come lately, just 'cause he lives near ya, get you to read a
I'm
comic.
gonna read a comic and talk about it on my podcast.
And what would that podcast be?
That would be the comicbrospodcast.com.
Am I on it?
And it's monthly.
It's monthly. Yep. 'Cause we're all busy people, not like you guys.
Yes, I'm well known to the listeners of this podcast as a slacker
I don't
who I just sit around and stare at the wall.
You just drive around picking up furniture.
You realize I've had to buy Joe two meals because of you wanting furniture.
I'm sorry, you need me to pay you back?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
No, I need you to I had to spend time with him.
Oh.
You know about his table manners? I've seen chimpanzees who know how to use forks better.
I don't know why you're always picking on Joe so much. He seems perfectly sweet to me.
Because I'm scared of you, really. But
As you should be.
Man, this Saga trade is great.
that's no good anymore. You read all the good parts.
I really want one of these cedar chests.
Oh, for the love of God.
That'll fit in Cory's car.
That's okay, I got a pickup truck.
It'll fit in my son's car,
Twin
which
Cities,
is...
I am coming for you.
You know, if we put a sign up that says Twin Cities left, I bet you she'll see it and turn around and go home.
There are so many jokes to make here. Just, oh man. First,
God, I missed it.
First, she wants a cedar chest, and then she's coming for the Twin City. Really, there's just so many jokes here.
Then go ahead and make 'em, puppet.
Sauce for the
Puppet.
goose usually contains wine.
Okay, fine, Jin. I think your chest is just fine. You don't need a cedar chest.
It took you that long to think of that?
No! I
He was
said
trying
I
to
wasn't
clean it
gonna
up.
say it, and then you told me to.
But it wasn't funny.
Yeah, I don't mind seeing her chest.
Oh, I bet.
Of course you don't.
I miss
Does
the
it-
crickets so much.
My
Does it-
hair is brown now. It's not red anymore.
Does it smell like wood?
Does it smell like wood? No, my chest doesn't smell like wood.
We can change that.
Why does every podcast I'm on end up about penises?
We didn't mention a penis once.
Oh,
No.
it was
You get tired of talking
implied.
about Jin's chest.
Just get it out of your system.
I have completely lost all control, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to
When
sit
you
in the
locked
corner.
Butch in my basement for a week.
There are neither any ladies nor gentlemen listening to this right now.
I'm just going to sit in the corner in the fetal position and cry quietly, okay?
No, you're not.
Oh, I love it when you cry. It makes it so much more fun.
Could you get a bottle and put it on your cheek and cry into the bottle for me and save it? I'm making a trophy case.
I'd rather be watching Pokemon. With
Oh?
friends like these, who needs anime?
Joe,
Joe, the Joe drop right there can be the new crickets.
I miss the crickets so
Oh.
much.
Did you fire the crickets?
No, they died.
Oh.
he made up some story about them dying. I was so happy.
They were crushed
It wasn't
when my
funny.
son dropped his desk on them.
Was it one of the desks that Jin is having you store?
No, it was one that he built.
Oh.
I was crushed too, to be
I
honest.
could only wish my furniture had destroyed the crickets.
She would want the corpses in each of the drawers.
Trophy case.
There you go. Put those in the bottle too.
As I was saying a half hour ago, Joe and I were talking about when we were young,
Uh-huh.
the first comics we remember reading.
Oh, those were the stone tablets, right?
Yes, and the comic strips that we
I
enjoyed.
think it was called the Code of Hammurabi.
No.
give up.
No.
Beef.
It was some
Good one.
Mesopotamian stuff.
Oh.
Come on, I was really into Gilgamesh as a kid. And I thought,
Cory, why do you think you have any
Oh
control
wow,
here?
this liquor cabinet's amazing.
What happens when you witness a shipwreck?
Oh, I don't know.
You let it sink in.
Mm.
I think this show is a shipwreck.
Zing!
Wait.
Run that
Speaking of
tape
liquor
back.
cabinets, Jin, do you have vodka?
I'm not drinking until after I move. I have been on a self-imposed abstinence from alcohol.
What fun is that?
None, let me
Oh.
tell you.
Oh, she'll have vodka when she gets here.
I've got 3 bottles in the freezer. I just ain't drinking it.
Oh, no.
She was only a whiskey maker, but he loved her still.
Are you gonna do
Wow.
this all night?
Joe, you are on a roll tonight.
Do you think of this stuff yourself, or do you have a terrible book that you read from?
Oh, that's terrible.
Joe wants to be jovial Bob Stein when he grows up.
Joe's not gonna grow up.
Now there's an obscure reference.
I didn't get it.
So Dan,
Yes.
what comic books and comic strips do you remember enjoying as a child? He said in a desperate fucking attempt to try to stay on topic.
Well, comic strips. I loved Garfield and Bloom County. Comic books, actually, my first one was a Silver Surfer number 50. The one right before they dove into the Infinity Gauntlet.
Did you buy it for the foil cover?
I did.
Pretty much. I bought it from a local gas station.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It was a gas station across the street from where we lived. And I picked it up and I opened it and oh my God, Thanos has been my idol ever since.
I think he's misting up, ladies and gentlemen.
I am just a little. He's so sexy.
Jen,
What?
what was the first comic strip you remember enjoying?
I liked Mother Goose and Graham a lot. I used to draw the dog all over everything, but that strip is really bad, like, now.
Well, you enjoyed it when you were, what, 5?
No.
I can't remember that far. I can remember, like, middle school. Cory, I don't have a lot to say about comics.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know, you think
Comics.
I draw them, you think I would give a shit, but I just don't. I mean, like, okay, I will tell you a thing about comics, alright? I read a thread on a message board where everybody posts, like, there's different people that post, like, different comics every day, so it's like the comic section of your newspaper, but on a message board. And somebody has been posting, classic Peanuts. And I have always hated Peanuts. I never liked that comic. And somebody's been, somebody, let me
Don't
finish.
say that when you're moving up to St. Paul.
Somebody, bring it on, bitches. Somebody,
Guess I'm not taking Jin to O'Gara's, am I?
somebody has been posting the first 2 years. And when Peanuts started, it was so good. Like the first 2 or 3 years, it's hilarious when Snoopy didn't talk and actually looked like a dog. I love it. And then, like, at some point, Charlie Brown turns into this, like, pathetic sad sack, and Snoopy starts talking, and it's just all garbage from that point. But, like, the first couple years of it, like, the art style's better, it has more character, it's not quite as polished, and the dog acts like a dog, and Charlie Brown's actually kind of this, like, troublemaking smartass, and it's fucking hilarious. Like, what happened?
It got popular.
Well,
And Charles Schultz suffered from chronic depression.
I guess, but so I gave you an opinion about comics.
Oh, there you go.
I am relevant somehow.
Why does this show always degenerate to talking about peanuts?
Oh, good grief.
Somebody actually made a good joke, thank you.
Butch,
Yeah.
since we never get to ask you any questions because you hide, what
boring.
was the first comic you remember buying?
Oh, that's a good question.
Or stealing. You were in the
It,
town.
When I was,
Or, knocking Kray in the head and taking it out of his hands.
oh, which one do I remember doing that? Yeah, that was a Fantastic Four number 187.
Very specific.
Yeah. When I was 3 or 4, I always liked cartoons and, including like the superhero cartoons. But because I like cartoons, my grandma took me over to the, drugstore. Boy, I had to search for the name of those. And, I got a Bugs Bunny comic. I got a Daffy Duck and the Roadrunner comic, and I got a Smokey the Bear comic, which I probably remember more because I still have them than because, remembering actually getting them. When I was 6, I had my tonsils out, and because I like to watch the Super Friends on TV, my mom stopped and picked me up a Justice League comic, and that was my introduction to superhero comics. And since I was interested in them, next time we went to the store, drugstore, grocery store, whatever, I started looking at the superhero comics on the spin rack and discovered Marvel comics, and I can't honestly say which one, but I was immediately totally taken by the Marvel superheroes, especially the monster guys like the Hulk and the Thing. And, there were cool comics on the rack where like the Thing was in a dinosaur's mouth and the Fantastic Four were like falling out of an airplane right towards the Hulk, who was waiting to pummel them on the ground. And, like I said, I don't remember what exactly I bought, but everything I saw was the coolest thing I'd ever saw. And I've just been a total mental case ever since.
Do you remember any comic strips really jumping out at you that you love?
Comic strips?
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of liked the Wizard of Id, but it was more because of how the characters looked, because it was always a bitter irony to me that those were called the Sunday Funnies. And, of course, as we all know, there was very little funny about them, especially then. They were rough. So, if I think of any, I'll jump in and say, oh yeah, I remember that and I like that. Later when Calvin and Hobbes came out and The Far Side was hot, I thought that stuff was actually really funny, but I was a borderline adult at that point.
Yeah, The Far Side was good.
Yeah, I agree. Fun stuff. Well, edgy, and there was no edge to the funnies in the 70s.
I wasn't alive in the 70s.
Right. Well, take my word for it. You don't want to be reading those peanuts. I agree. The earlier ones were great. We had them in the school library, and it's like the kind of book you would take out over summer vacation. You didn't. Then you'd just be a thief. Over Christmas vacation, and it'd sit and read a couple of Peanuts books, and I agree those early ones were great, and I always loved them, and it just made me. There was like the chasm between the early ones and the ones that were then current. Remember, this was the 70s. The chasm grew, and yeah, you just made you not want to read the then current ones even more.
I like this guy. Let's hang out.
Good. I'm off the hook.
Dan?
Yeah.
You didn't really get into comic strips. Were there any comic strips that you really enjoyed as a kid?
Yeah, I said I liked Garfield and Bloom
Oh, that's
County.
right.
I loved Bloom County.
You liked Garfield?
Yeah.
Oh,
It was the first comic I got into and when I first started drawing.
I had to get my ears cleaned out. I thought he said he liked Garfield.
Where is St. Louis Park?
Oh, good, we're back to this.
Now, one of the things I'm seeing on the Facebooks
Oh no.
is Burke Breathitt has started Bloom County again.
Yes.
And it looks like he's just doing it on Facebook.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he's just doing it for fun.
I was going to say, he can't be making any money.
That's outlandish.
Can he?
Who cares?
Oh.
His accountant,
Joe told me to say that.
his, I would imagine the people he owes money to, like the people who hold his mortgage.
Look, he wasn't making comics before, and now he is. So he's probably still making money from whatever he was already making money from, and he's just doing the comics for fun.
I just think it's a really interesting model, and one of the things I'm seeing is how rapidly it gets shared. I don't know when he posts it, but by the time I wake up in the morning, I look at my friend's feed, and there are like 20 people who've reposted it.
The thing is, I can understand Cory's confusion. I don't know any artists that actually, cartoonists and everything who have regular jobs as well.
Yeah, but you would like to make money off your cartooning, wouldn't you?
Well, yes.
Jen, you do make money off your cartooning.
I make money off of mine. I don't know what y'all talking about.
Butch, you made money when you were doing a comic.
Oh man, yeah. I bet I made
Quarter at a
upwards
time,
of single dollar.
Quarter at a time.
And Joe just took it.
Yeah. Well, Joe was the retailer, so he sold it, and he said, sorry, didn't make any profit.
Yeah.
Now, are there any comic strips now that you really like? I know Jen has talked about Cul-de-sac.
Cul-de-sac is so good.
One of the ones that I love, but the guy who draws it is always, always, always on vacation, is Get Fuzzy.
Oh, yeah.
That one used to be good.
Well, it's still good because they're just showing all the old ones. He's on vacation. Every time I see the strip, it's, blah, blah, blah is on vacation. Now, Gary Trudeau's been on vacation for like 4 years because Amazon's paying him to make a TV show. But one of the things that kind of bugs me is, in the Star Tribune, 1, 2, 3, 4 of the strips they're running are reruns. They have, For Better or For Worse, Peanuts, Doonesbury, and Get Fuzzy.
They still print newspapers?
I get them at work.
Oh, wow. There really are a lot of old people up there.
Well, we get them at the group home too, and the residents all fight over them, so that's something.
There you go. I actually like Buckles.
Yeah, Buckles is pretty good.
Yeah.
Is that current? Still running?
But only in a few papers. You actually have to search for it.
I'll start now. Hey, Buckles, you over here? Come here, Buckles.
How about you, Butch?
With the comic strips?
Yeah.
I was going to mention Buckles, but I haven't seen it in a good many years, which is why I asked if it was still going. But other than that, no, I don't see any of the comic strips. I'm with I'm with the, they still print newspapers crew. I mean, come on.
Will somebody go to St. Louis Park and get me this lamp table?
That'll fit in Cory's car. We'll wait here. Bring pancakes back, Cory.
That's how I get people to move shit. You want some pancakes? Pancakes work for everything.
I'm bringing pancakes back. How about? Bring them.
Yeah, and then if we don't eat them, we can put them under the furniture and use them to slide it along the floor. Dan, we haven't talked about the comics that you read anymore.
That I still read, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
You have, which is about as rare as when I have days off. What comics do you buy?
Yeah. Well, I've been keeping up on the Guardians of the Galaxy, as much as I can. And I was trying to read the new Infinity War comic. And I read the first issue. And I went to pick up the second issue. And I picked it up and I flipped through it and I put it back.
Not a big fan of the Secret Wars version of the Infinity Gauntlet,
No.
or Infinity War, or Infinity Crusade, or Infinity Toaster Oven.
Whatever, yeah.
Toaster oven.
Well, I don't think Thanos is in that one. Thanos is in other books.
No, he is in that one, and that's what makes it even, more sad that I'm not interested in it. In fact, I think in the second issue there were two of him. But anyway, yeah, I'm sure I will find him in other books. He seems to be all over the place right now, which
Gosh, I wonder why.
Yeah, I wonder why. But otherwise, I actually was a big fan of Green Lantern for a while. And I kept on up with that more than I did anything else. But the new 52 kind of made that hard.
Yeah, that kind of happened to everybody.
Yeah.
Although DC says they won't do any more reboots.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I think all of our reactions was, okay, yeah, That's like when you date the person who drinks too much, and then after you take them to the hospital for alcohol poisoning, and they go, "I'll never drink again." Sure you won't.
Yeah.
Sure.
And DC just announced they won't do any more reboots this summer.
Now, Butch has not been on the show except to interview us. So, Butch, what are the comics that you're reading? What are you looking at?
Well,
Pretty much mine. Leave my comics alone.
I'll read in little groups and I don't apparently get to stick with anything. Has anybody seen the price of comic books these days?
Good Lord! $4?
Yeah.
Tell you what, I'll give you $1 and I'll just look at the cover.
I read the first week of Convergence. All the books.
Yeah.
And I don't know what this. It was so. It covered the entire gamut from junk to pretty cool, And to be honest, I can't even remember what one. I kind of liked the Superman book that was drawn by Lee Weeks. That was.
You like Superman?
It was good looking. I like the Superman. You like a Superman? And I've been reading some of the Secret Wars stuff and digging it. The Deadpool Secret Wars thing is a lot of fun. But I haven't been able to keep up with anything. It's a bank breaker.
I use the Marvel Unlimited.
What do you call it?
Marvel Unlimited. You can basically Netflix for Marvel comics.
yes. Yeah, Marvel Unlimited. That would be a good way to go.
Yeah.
Except, Butch, your computer basically is, I think it has a little trouble running Commodore software.
You don't have to be politically correct. It's retarded.
Now, Butch will tell me about listening to the podcast, and he'll say, yeah, it takes about 20 times before I can download an episode, and then it crashes about every 7 minutes, but I love the podcast. You guys are great.
5 times.
Who's your favorite?
Oh, who's my favorite on the podcast?
Yeah.
I love you all equally.
Bullshit.
Oh, no, it's a 25% each.
25% each?
I also am retarded.
Me, Joe, And the crickets?
Jin.
And the crickets?
No crickets.
No, Dan
Damn
gets his
it.
cut.
I get my cut. Awesome.
Yep.
I'm on like once a year, but I get my cut. This is great.
I'm not here to make enemies.
You had me at what does Wolfie think? Okay.
All right.
Can we be new best friends?
Sure.
Yay!
Yay.
Butch is everybody's best friend.
Yeah. Well,
I don't think I've told the story.
I
There
love
was
you.
a time I went to the Ramsey County Fair with Butch.
Oh God, he's telling a story.
And we were going to go to a wrestling show headlined by the Beverly Brothers. So you know that was a great show. And as we're walking through the fairgrounds, everybody we walked by was, "Hey Butch, you want some free funnel cakes? Hey Butch, you want some free cotton candy? Hey Butch, come on over here. I want to give you this. Hey Butch, you want a stuffed animal?" I'm walking through. Nobody gave me any.
man, I wish I was there right now.
Yeah. Well, maybe he got it the same way my wife, gets free stuff at the state fair.
Oh, Butch, were you wearing a low-cut blouse?
Well, you were with me.
Oh, so they felt bad for you. I understand.
I don't know why I show up for these anymore.
Show up, you invite.
Are there any jokes about crickets?
Well, we've gone about 45 minutes.
Yeah, he's wrapping it up.
And I imagine that if we try to do freaking and geeking, it's going to take an hour and a half.
Okay.
So we might, you know who is going to do stuff again?
Oh God.
These guys, our sponsors. You may not be able to join the mighty Marvel Marching Society anymore, or even the Friends of Old Marvel, but you can visit our sponsors. Our oldest sponsor is DreamHost.com. DreamHost.com is the best, bar none, web host in the whole known universe. If you need a website, go to DreamHost.com. They will take care of you as they've been taking care of me for over 15 years. If you use the code Kray-Z, that's K-R-A-Y-Z, you get $20 off your first year of hosting. If you are listening to this podcast, you are very good looking. That's right. As a good-looking person, you can't trust your skin to any old razor. That's why you need to shave with the amazing razors you can get delivered from the Dollar Shave Club. Every month, they send a box with your shaving supplies. At the beginning of the week, or whenever you want, you pop in a fresh blade and get that fresh blade shave. It feels fantastic, and it's just one of the many, many ways that you can maintain the good looks that everyone has come to expect from you. And if you join us at the Dollar Shave Club, their plans start at just $3 a month. They have a money-back guarantee, and there is no excuse for you to ever use any other razor. So just go to dollarshaveclub.com/Kray-Z, K-R-A-Y-Z, to get started. One of the things you need to do this year, you need to get healthy. We all need to be healthy so we can all hang out a lot longer. And one of the ways to get healthy is not to go down to the vending machine and buy those chips or those candy bars or any of the other vending machine snacks. You want healthy snacks picked out by actual chefs who know what they're doing, and you can do that at graze.com. And if you use the code Cory S3R5P, your first and fifth box are free, so you can try it out. See if that's the kind of stuff you like. That's Cory S3R5P. Our final sponsor is Worldwide News. Worldwide News is the story of the lowest rated cable news network and the people who work there. It is updated twice a week by writer Cory Strode. Hey, that's me! And artist Dangerous Dan Mohr. Worldwide News at worldwidenews.solitairerose.com, part of the Solitaire Rose family of websites. If you would like to contact us, there are a whole bunch of ways. You can email us at cory.strode@gmail.com. You can give us a call. We have a voice line that is open at all times at 952-856-0519, or you could go to Facebook and join the Crazy Comics and Stuff fan page. If you would like to advertise on Crazy Comics and Stories or on Solitaire Rose Radio, you can. Just send me an email at cory.strode@gmail.com, subject advertising. Thanks.
God,
You guys are
again?
giving nothing to work with when it comes to segues, so.
No.
Freaking and geeking, everybody!
Yay!
Dan!
Yeah.
What are you freaking on?
Oh, Batman, Arkham Knight. Oh.
You're freaking about it?
Oh, sorry, wrong thing.
Yeah.
He's freaking geeking on that.
Oh, yeah.
He's all over that
What's
shit.
this sleep shit?
Here, let me explain the premise.
I don't care. You usually start with geeking.
Freaking
You
is stuff
usually
we're
start with geeking.
out
No, we
about.
don't.
I don't care.
Is we're geeking
I'm on this
out
show
about.
more than you, and we always start with geeking. No, wait, what?
We always start with freaking because we want to end on a high note. We want to end happy.
Then why?
We want to get the bad out of the way to get to the good. You can't have any pudding if you don't eat your meat.
Fine. You know what I'm freaking out about? My timing.
What did one twin say to the other? There's not enough woman here for both of us.
Oh, God.
Joe, you're hurting me. Would you please stop?
Ugh.
What does a clock do when it's hungry? Goes back 4 seconds.
Save us, Dan.
I don't know if I can.
Dan, what are you freaking out about?
Or
Would you
baby.
please just tell us so he'll stop?
Is that her singing?
I'm losing the very will to live.
Oh, God. What
What
am
are
I
you
freaking
doing?
out about? The thing is, well, yeah. Excuse
making
me,
me
I have to go change
uncomfortable.
something.
Say to the bee. Booby.
Oh, God.
No, please stop.
Unfortunately, I think I've already explained my freaking, which would be the Infinity Gauntlet debacle.
And Jen's will be Joe's jokes.
Yeah. I'm freaking that we're not talking Transformers.
I keep telling Joe if he wants to have a first episode of his podcast, which he's now promised for 2 years, you two call each other, talk Transformers for 4 hours. He cuts it up into 4 episodes. He's done. Jen,
What?
what are you freaking out about?
I have so much packing left to do, and I am so tired. I am like working a part-time job. I have all my regular work to do. I'm trying to draw. I'm trying to make comics. I have to pack. I just like my schedule is just I'm so overworked. I can't even sleep anymore. It took stacking like Xanax and Benadryl last night to finally knock me down enough to sleep after I'd been running around all day on 2 hours of sleep. So I feel like I'm dying.
Well, that's certainly dramatic.
Yeah. All right, so I'll take that back then. You know, I understand you're going through all that. What actually I'm freaking out about, last Thursday, I had 4 cars break down on me.
Good Lord, you need to tell that story.
4 car jokes.
Yes.
Yeah, what it was is that, okay, one of them...
Butch,
Yeah.
please restrain Joe.
What happened is that, first of all, our roommate's vans started breaking down. So we had this plan. It's like, okay, we're going to get home from work. We'll bring his car into the shop and get it fixed. While we're all at work, we get a call from my stepdaughter who was coming home from her boyfriend's and then was going to head off to work after that. And her car breaks down on our way back to the house. So my wife leaves work early to go find her, get the car to a safe place, and then bring my stepdaughter into work. After dropping her off at work, my wife starts coming home. The van she's in starts overheating to the point where it won't move. So I come from work, get her. We limp that van, the van that just broke down, to the shop so we can get that fixed. On our way back from the shop to home to pick up the second van to bring it into the shop, a shock absorber snaps and starts dragging on the ground. So, 4 cars. 4 cars in a 24-hour period.
And I take it that's the point where you just go, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah,
With
pretty
cars.
much.
I'm out. I'm out.
Fix it again, Tony.
Yeah, pretty much.
Butch,
What am I freaking on?
yeah, what are you freaking out about? Other than Joe's jokes.
No, see, If I was the type to freak out, I probably would be freaking out on that. Butch don't really freak out. Butch kind of rides even keel. He doesn't
It's
geek
just an
out.
expression.
I know it is. I know. And one thing that's bothering me, and I may be jumping the gun on Joe and Cory with this, but I feel terrible that Roddy Piper has left us. One of the greatest wrestling talents of all time, a perfect heel, which is a bad guy. And, you can say he would be sorely missed, but he really has been sorely missed in the business because he had gotten a little older, but he was only 61 years old. And that is way too early. I think there was he had a lot more to offer. There we go.
That's like your age, right, Cory?
No. He's younger than me.
I'll take it.
I think we lost Joe.
Oh, thank God.
We're back.
It was a euthanasia.
It was a mercy killing. Mercy. I was upset about Piper too, and one of the things I was talking to with one of my friends at work is Butch, you'll probably agree with me. If you're talking about Piper, you're never ever going to say, oh yeah, Piper had this great match with anybody.
Yeah, no, that's not what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of how Piper would get beat down after a match and be hauled away on a stretcher going, and they'd haul him out the whole way doing that. And the next week they'd say, well, it turns out Roddy Piper was speaking Gaelic. He was that kind of a nut.
The thing about Piper was his matches, not one of his matches was ever anything you go, oh wow, that was good. But you give him a microphone and you're entertained. When people talk about Piper's greatest moments is when he, took a coconut and beat Jimmy Snuka over the head with it. Or the feud he had with Hogan where he's in Mr. T's face. He's a half foot shorter than Mr. T, but in his face, screaming at him. You wanted to see Piper because he was one of those guys you never knew what the hell he was going to do. Half the time he didn't know what he was going to do. And that was what was so entertaining about him. Anything else, Butch?
No, I'm going to have to cut it there or else I'll get too depressed and I'll go take myself out.
Okay. Jen.
Butch, are you on Facebook?
No.
What?
I'm too depressed. I'd have to take myself out.
I want to add you on Facebook.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
You were saying, Cory?
Do we dare ask Joe what he's freaking about?
No. He's lost the privilege. I don't care if he's a starting member of this and actually, part of 50% of the show. No.
Well, and the show's named after.
I don't care.
About how Miss Piggy and Kermit broke up. I mean, I feel bad for Kermit,
no.
but I mean, I can't refuse a woman with 16 breasts. But what I'm really freaking on, other than the other day I had to drive Dana all over town and pick up Holly and drive her over, and just so happened we passed by Hot Comics New Hope. So I figure, you know what, girls? Your penalty, we're going to Hot Comics New Hope.
That's a penalty?
Well, yeah, it is. So we drove right up, and I should have guessed something was up because the place was absolutely dark. And I checked the watch, and sure enough, it wasn't 3 a.m. Sign on the door. Hot Comics closed due to power outage. What I'm really freaking out about, I just finished the last issue of Archie vs. Predator. Did not like it at all.
Oh, what a piece of dog shit that was.
If they'd have gone, I mean, if you want to throw a spoiler up, go ahead and do it. But I mean, it's like, they died. But, that's when the first thing is like, oh, you killed one of the Archies. And then you're like, okay, right away it's like an alternative universe. So you're like, okay, let's see who's going to die and what type of thing. And somebody's got to live, the Arnold Schwarzenegger character. But this was just bad. If they'd have gone the way they did, like Punisher, Archie, make it, Punisher kills people, but everybody lives. It's plausible. It's going to happen. I'd have probably enjoyed it a little bit more. But yeah, Archie forget it. I am so off the Archie train. I'm just not going to read it anymore. It's done.
That's a terrible report, Joe. What are you geeking on?
I like Archie versus Sharknado. Have you seen this one?
Did
thought you were
Cory get
done
to
with
do his
Archie.
freaking yet?
This is freaking great. Look at this.
Cory.
Chainsaws, Archie.
I've
inside the
completely
mouth of
given
the
up.
Joe,
thing.
stop
Wiles the
talking.
shark. This
Joe.
is great.
Joe.
Of course,
Joe.
I don't know about you, but I'm starving.
Joe.
I'm going to sit back and read
Joe.
Jin.
Okay, you got a minute. He's going to read Archie versus
Hey,
Sharknado.
Cory, did you do your freaking yet?
Not yet.
Okay, do it while he stopped.
First
I'm
off,
gonna message him on Facebook and distract him for you.
Hey, Cory,
Yes.
can you hurry up here?
Where's the booze?
Cory, what are you freaking on, Cory? I got to say it this time.
I'm freaking over the fact that the booze is out of reach of my hand. There has not been a solo podcast for the last 2 weeks, even though I promised
Grundy
this was.
got it.
You're a liar.
Well, I have had to grab a bunch of extra shifts because I like money. And money can be used for goods and services, and I enjoy goods and services.
Explain how.
I've had to drive all over the known universe to pick up furniture.
Fabulous.
And I have a feeling that I'm going to be doing it still this week.
No.
I don't know. Somebody likes a lamp table.
No, it's fine. I'm fine. I'm fine.
You know, when someone says fine like that, it's, you should probably email them and tell them that I will pick up the lamp furniture
No,
on
it's
Thursday.
fine. I don't want it. I get my own damn self.
I drive through St. Louis Park on my way home.
No, don't worry about it. Just forget it.
Dan?
Cory, will you finish your fucking freaking?
Dan, I'm in trouble, aren't I?
Oh, yeah.
Finish your fucking freaking. You work too much. Get on with it.
Cory,
you're
you're asking if you're in trouble when it's gone from Cory. What's your freaking to Cory? Say you're fucking freaking.
I'm pretty clueless.
Can we just stay
all know
on topic here?
No.
Stay on topic. Stay on topic.
Joe?
I have finally read the first Tarzan novel. Has anybody else on the podcast read the first Tarzan novel?
What's a novel? Joe?
Comic book without pictures.
Me, Tarzan.
It is the most blatantly racist piece of dog shit I've ever forced myself
You're surprised
through.
by that?
Yes, because there are all these people who go on and on about how Edgar Rice Burroughs is a great writer. It's a soap opera where the British white people should have dominance over the universe. It goes on and on. Tarzan, raised by the apes and everything. But then the minute he meets a French sailor, 2 chapters later, he's a fine, cultured British gentleman because he was bred properly.
I'm drinking tea,
Oh, dear. And it ends on a cliffhanger, and all I could thought is, I don't care about any of these people. I hope they all die in a fire.
Hey, that's how I feel when I read any book.
So I don't think I will be continuing to read the Tarzan novels.
Is that it?
The last thing I'm freaking on is I looked at my discount comic book service order to see, what still hasn't shipped. And any of the hardcovers, like the omnibuses or omnibuy or whatever an omnibus is plural.
Omnibuses.
It takes them, you order it and it takes 10 months to ship. Are they sewing them together by hand?
Pencil.
Are they being put together randomly by chimps? And the only one, this one's in the right order. We can finally ship one. All right. Let the chimps loose in the printing shop again. I ordered ordered Werewolf by Night last January. When's it coming out? Oh, November.
Well, that makes more sense because they can only put it together at night and during a full moon.
It's just annoying that I pay for this stuff so far in advance, and then by the time it shows up, it's like, I remember those days when I was young and ordered that book. Dan?
Yeah.
What are you geeking on? What are you loving? What are you liking? What are you excited about?
Batman Arkham Knight.
Finally, you got it right.
Did I get it right this time?
Somebody got it right.
Yeah. No,
So how much of your life is this game eaten so far?
Oh, quite a bit. I have completed the main story already. Which is interesting considering the fact that I have it on PC, so I'm having all the problems and it's not exactly running fast. But last night I started playing if you pre-ordered, you got some short stories that were side stories to the thing where you can play Harley Quinn and the Red Hood, and there's going to be DLC where you can play Batgirl and stuff like that. I started playing the Harley story. There are so many crotch shots in that thing. And I don't mean camera shots. No, I mean Harley is punching cops in the crotch. Yeah. I was just like, wow, I have to play this when I'm in a bad mood.
Now, does it have the thing where it can tell you how many hours you've played the game?
Probably. 1 second, I'll check. Hold on.
Because the Final Fantasy games have that, and it depresses me because it's like, I've wasted 107 hours playing this game.
107 hours of your life you can never have back. Much like the time I spend recording these podcasts.
For the time Joe talks.
You can always hit mute and drink.
What about mutants?
Cory, why do you hate me?
Because you got mad at me when I said I'd pick up a table for you. Jen!
What?
What are you geeking on?
In 4 weeks, I'm going to be in Minneapolis. Whatever.
He's so excited, you can tell.
I can't, well, that's what I can, yeah, okay. I'm excited. I'm gonna be there, and it's new, and getting my own place, and yep. Joe. I'm gonna smack Joe. I'm excited about that.
So is he.
Oh. I bet he is. Joe, do you like getting smacked around? We need a what? What is he talking about?
Why are you paying attention?
He's one of the people we support.
I don't get it. Can you explain?
Cory's got out of the canoe.
Why is that so funny? Can you please, somebody explain this to me?
Not it.
I don't hear him laugh. Help. Is he still breathing?
I need air.
Yeah.
Don't we all?
I need air.
It's kind of fun to run away from the mic, isn't it?
What did I miss?
You better not edit this down, cause...
I can't breathe.
Okay, I got one more thing.
202 is
Chris
Done.
Christ.
Last podcast.
Done. I guess not.
Oh, go on mute.
I'm waiting. Any day now.
Woo.
Okay, I'm also geeking because I did 2 art shows last week, and it was my first time doing, like art shows and not comic conventions, so I sold some paintings and some art.
Cool. That's awesome.
Yep,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
awesome.
it was awesome. Two shows?
Yeah, I did 2 shows and I wanted to die. Because because
That's
two,
awesome.
because
Yeah.
we have like 2 shows. So I've been like preparing for the show, like trying to crank out these paintings, crank out these drawings. I gotta frame everything up. I finished my trunk that I didn't have at, Comic-Con in May that I should have, but didn't because I couldn't finish it. So my trunk's done. I got all my display stuff done. I had a great backdrop for the first show, hung all my paintings. And then the next day I had to work on my artwork during the day, and then I had like a 5-hour shift at my part-time job, and then I had another show from like 8 p.m. until 2 in the morning the next day. So by Saturday I was just like The Walking Dead. Yeah, but it was awesome. There I'm actually talking about shit instead of just laughing into the microphone.
Yeah, Cory's doing that now.
Cory's muted, I think.
Yeah, I think.
I'm okay.
Okay, who's next? What are you geeking on?
Cory's awful moment when he realizes this is his circus and we are his monkeys.
I am no
Butch.
monkey.
What am I geeking
Butch.
on?
Yeah.
Well, you guys are good storytellers. I blow at this. I am geeking on the fact that my daughter and I are watching, my daughter's 11, and we're watching Futurama all the way through.
Woo!
Cause it is a great show. It was
Yes.
very funny. Yep. And, but, you know what, who am I trying to persuade? There's really nothing more I can say about it. I love it, but we are having a lot of fun. I don't know if proud is the word, but it's a good feeling to bring somebody else through, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I am geeking on the fact that I'm here at the show.
Aww.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. Well, I got over it.
How much did Joe pay you
Don't
to
worry,
do that?
Joe will ruin that feeling as soon as he can.
Well, I don't go down very easy. It'll be it's a real. Oh, come on, help me find a good word for a good positive word that's not
Inconvenience.
what? I'm having fun. That's what.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Edgar Church is spinning in his grave.
I'm almost frightened to ask.
Don't. Just don't.
Joe,
Oh.
what are you geeking on?
Okay, so, Cory.
Will somebody please talk?
Cory, so what are you geeking on?
I mean, normally I wouldn't want to hear you, but you're supposed to be talking, so you need to fix your shit.
Don't tell him to do that.
See, all those podcasts, Cory, turn the game down. Now I know why, because he doesn't want to listen to me. Jeez. That explains it.
Well, with this episode, I think we're all in that boat.
What are you freaking on, Joe? I mean, geeking on.
Well, it's actually a part geek, part freak.
I'm not paying attention.
I had a couple family reunions, and I really liked it. Seeing my old cousins, seeing uncles, aunts, mainly because one of them passed away over the weekend. She had cancer. She was trying to stay alive to see her daughter's wedding. She did. And then she said, that's it. No more dialysis, no more chemo. She cashed out on her terms. So we're all pretty proud of her. We're going to miss her. But it was really cool to see everybody before that happened. I saw it on both sides of my family, my mom's side, my dad's side. This weekend we're going up to another reunion where it's just the cousins, none of the older aunts, uncles. I'm on vacation from the job, which is why I'm bitching about TSA this week. plenty of things to bitch about, but I ain't dealing with it. I don't have to worry about it. So that's kind of cool. It makes me kind of realize it's the importance, getting together like this, leaving Butch locked in my basement so he'll be here for a podcast. Comic wise, it was box day. So there's always a lot to talk about box days. I narrowed a couple things. I think, Cory, did you talk about Archie 1 last week?
Not last week, but the week before.
Okay, well, I finally got a copy of it. And despite the cool Sharknado and the sucky versus Predator, the Archie 1, where Mark Waid and Fiona Staples is doing, is actually pretty kind of interesting. I mean, Butch and I were talking about this before we started. It's not the cartoony, done-in-one, bubbly Archie that we've come to know. It's more realistic style. And I was a little wary of it, but I think I'm actually going to like it. And of course, it does have a reprint in the back of Archie's first appearance. So if you're too struck by the current stuff, you can go way back in time.
I don't know how we ever got a second appearance.
Oh, it's not that good. Spirit number 1. I was I got another one that
so good.
you're weary of because it's like, the Master did it. Will Eisner. How do you cope to that? We've had a couple bad ones. I mean, DC did something that was really crappy. But this one looks to be really good. I picked the Alex Ross cover. I mean, there were tons of variants even on the Archie one. I went with the David Mack cover. Another number 1, Grant Morrison's 18 Days number 1. This one I'm going to have to reread a couple times because the big thing about it is that it's really heavily steeped in Indian mythology. And I can't even pronounce how he says this. The Mahabharata in particular. And he's doing his best to make it accessible to Western readers, as well as still being true to the Indian mythology it comes from. Only one issue. This one might be better as a graphic novel, but I'm going to write it along as it comes out. It's under the Graphic India imprint. And I would imagine most comic stores have it because of Grant Morrison's involvement with it. I'd be surprised if they didn't. The favorite comic of the week, though, comes courtesy of Image. Comic Book Legal Defense Fund Special, Terror of the Punks, the horror comic. It starts by reprinting
like
the Comic
better.
Code Authority as adopted in 1954. The preamble, all the parts that talk about things you can't do, divorce shall not be treated humorously nor represented as desirable. No comic magazine shall use the word horror or terror in this title, which if you caught the title, And so they talk about that. They talk about the code matter. And then, of course, good old honest Abe Lincoln comes in and says, in tribute, we will proceed an orchestral attempt at breaking every rule of the 1956 Comic Code. And they proceed to do that the entire issue. I would say rush out and pick up a copy of this. Again, it's out of Image. The Terror of Punks, the horror comic. 20% of the profits are going to be donated to the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund, of course, an organization we support when we do the Demdare Falcons and stuff.
And it's got a 4-page introduction by Dr. Frederick Wortham.
Yes, that stinking bomb.
Was that his name, Cory?
Yes.
Okay.
TV, still kind of going through old Star Trek Next Generation reruns, trying to skip the bad stuff, which means almost all of the first season. And I've talked in the past about Night Vale, a podcast, online show, a live show even, that's just tremendously funny. If you like supernatural and just really oddball stuff, and you must, why did you spend 1 hour, 15 minutes listening to us? They have their first novel coming out by Joseph Fink and Jeffrey Cranor. It's available everywhere. And of course, if you look around, you can also pick up how to pick up a signed copy. And it's coming out in October. If you go to the website, again, just Google Night Vale and you'll find it. And pre-order one, because I listened to the first chapter while we were going to one of the reunions and it's as much fun as the radio shows are and the little podcasts and everything. So check it out. eBay-wise, just cranking away on the store, selling quite a bit of stuff. So if you're interested, go to Kray-Z on eBay. And, of course, if you're a listener of this here podcast, hell, if you're a friend of Jin, if you're a friend of Dan, just email me. Just drop a line either through eBay's email or crazycomics@gmail.com, and I'll what the hell are you doing? I'll tell you what, I'll take one of the things that Butch is manhandling right now, and I'll throw it in the box for free.
Yeah, throw it.
If you're interested, the Hero Initiative on eBay is auctioning off some of their specialty covers. They have a bunch of artists put together covers. They eventually reprint them in a hardcover, softcover book, and of course it all goes to Hero Initiative. Right now they're doing the Hellboy 100 project, where they have 100 original covers, all done by different artists. The one I'm looking at in particular is our old buddy Gordon Purcell, and he's got a Hellboy cover that's pretty cool. Only $13 right now. I think I'm going to pump that baby up to $15.69 and giggle while I type 69. Cool. That's pretty much it. Who needs to geek next? I don't know. What's? Hang on, let me look on this. Podcast 200 episodes. Joe, Jen, Dan, Butch. Oh, Cory, what are you geeking on? What's got you happy? What's got you giggling and laughing crazily through the house so badly that the neighbors are going to call the cops on you?
It's nothing.
I figured that. Well, good night, everybody.
Nothing.
I've been outbid, son of a bitch.
Joe was mentioning TV. There's one show on TV that I was surprised came back this summer. It was a British show that the CW brought over, and it only lasted one season over in England, but I guess they're doing another season here, and that's Penn and Teller's Fool Us. And the premise of the show is that a magician comes on, does a trick, and if Penn and Teller cannot figure out how it is done, you get to be in their Vegas show. And one of the cool things about the show is not just you get to see these magicians do a trick, but you also get to hear Penn, not so much Teller, talk about in code how the tricks are done in a way so that the magician knows and they know, but they don't think the audience knows.
I wonder if they'll figure out how our show works.
One problem is that a lot of the magicians were influenced by Penn and Teller. They're magicians in their early 20s, and Penn and Teller started doing their sort of magic in the 80s. So these are people who grew up watching Penn and Teller doing variation of Penn and Teller's tricks. But they always end the show with Penn and Teller doing one of their tricks. Last week was one of my favorites, where they shoot guns at each other and catch the bullets in their mouths.
Good dental work.
I have yet to figure out how they did that one. Because they're very careful about it. If you know a little about magic like I do,
or choppers,
most of the things you think that they would do to sort of do the trick, they make sure they make sure that it's not available. So, comic wise, I got the Drawn and Quarterly 25th anniversary book in my box, and it's bigger than I thought it was. This is a huge monster book covering the history of one of my favorite indie companies, Drawn and Quarterly. And they have reprints, new strips, essays. They have interviews with the artists. They have a history of the company, what the company has published. This book's going to take me a month to read. It's just wonderful and so much incredible cartooning. It's $50. If you are a fan of independent comics in any way, shape, or form, you need to own this book. You're going to spend, it's one of those books that'll be on the shelf near you so you can pull it off. Oh, I want to read what Seth wrote about again, or I want to read more about what Chester Brown wrote, or Julie Doucette, or Art Spiegelman, or any of these amazing people who worked in comics over the last 25 years. The new previews catalog is in, and for the first time in a while, I'm excited about some stuff coming out. On the cover is a new series by Scotty Young, who most people know from doing Rocket Raccoon at Marvel. He also did a beautiful adaptation of the Oz novels, but it's a comic called I Hate Fairyland.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care what it's about. I gotta read it. Just the one image on this cover is like, okay, I'm buying that.
It's got a little preview of it inside of previews, too, so if you want to check it out before you buy it, that'll cinch it.
The new Vertigo stuff has finally started to show up. There are 2 series that normally with Vertigo, again, I wait for the trade. I probably won't with these. First one is Twilight Children, written by Gilbert Hernandez. And if you remember our Fave 5 artists, it's drawn by Darwin Cook. So, when a white orb washes up on the shore of a remote Latin American village, a group of children naturally poke at the strange object to see what it is. The orb explodes, leaving the children completely blind. And when a beautiful young woman who may be an alien is found wandering the seafront, she's taken in by the townspeople. But soon becomes a person of interest to a quirky pair of undercover CIA agents and the target of affection for a young scientist. This already sounds fun. If it wasn't drawn by Darwin Cook, I'd probably buy it anyway, but it's Darwin Cook, whose art is just spot on beautiful. So I'm excited about that. The other one is Art Ops #1. I don't know the writer. It's Sean Simon, but it's drawn by Michael Allred, who draws the current Silver Surfer series. He drew the FF series, not Fantastic Four, but FF. He also drew one of my favorite X-Men books, the Ecstatics. And the premise of the book is that art not only imitates life, it becomes it. When rogue figures from famous works of art come to life and escape their frames, it's up to Reggie Riot and the agents of art operatives to track them down before they wreak havoc on an unsuspecting public. Again, it's Mike Allred, and it's a book that sounds like a lot of fun. Looking through here, I marked a few other things. There's a new Greg Rucka series coming out from Image that I'm very excited about because Greg Rucka is one of my favorite writers. He's written great comics. He's written great novels. His best work is a series called Queen and Country, which was a very realistic spy series of comics. There's also going to be a deluxe hardcover of the series Satellite Sam, which was written by Matt Fraction and drawn by Howard Chaykin, which is a series set in the early days of television. And because it's Matt Fraction, it's weird. And because it's Howard Chaykin, it's very sexy. And then I think there was one other thing here.
It's in the back. Did you notice there's no more DVDs in the previews catalog?
Yes, I did notice that. And we were talking about Peanuts a little earlier. Fantagraphics has been reprinting every strip in chronological order. They're now up to the years 1997 and 1998. So we're just a couple books. I think we're 2 books away from the end of the run.
What are you cheering for?
And these are honestly strips that I've never read. One of the things about Peanuts as it got toward the end was Schultz's line became very shaky. So he had to minimalize. And through the 70s and 80s, he made his drawings a little more complicated. But as he got to the 90s and he got older, he started to simplify his art again. And when I read the 93-94 book, I was really impressed at how he had sort of stripped away a lot of the stuff that he'd built up over the years and just sort of taken his art and brought it down to the essential lines. There's no line there that doesn't need to be there. And while the stories are kind of repetitive, the evolution of his art has been fascinating for me to watch. And I really enjoy the fact that this entire run of this strip, which is probably the most influential comic strip ever, is now going to be completely in print, including the Sunday strips. And that's it for my geeking. Well, kids, believe it or not,
Wait.
you've listened to us blather on for over an hour and a half.
I'm not going to need to take a sleeping pill tonight.
Well, that's good.
Sure, he gets done
After
talking
Cory's
and quickly goes to the
geeking.
Well, which is worse,
talked a
my
lot.
geeking or Joe?
We talked a lot about it.
That is a tough choice. That's going to keep me awake, thanks.
And as we say every week, kids, the comic we like the least, we still like better than the comic that you like the most. Joe?
Hey, I was at Walmart and the grocery clerk asked me if I'd like my milk in the bag. I said, no, just leave it in the carton. Oh, I feel good. Hit my music. Come on, mama. I feel like dancing.
Anybody else got a conclusion?
I got nothing.
Yes, but
Dan?
I don't think I can say it here.
Say it.
I think it's irresponsible to leave the listening audience without explaining what the hell you were laughing about for 15 minutes.
I still want to know what kayfabe is.
Well, isn't that 2 kayfabes in a cup?
Oh, God.
No, just leave it in the carton.
You know how, who was it who used the retarded word? Oh, that was Jin. She always uses it.
I didn't say that. He did.
Butch?
Guilty as charged.
Okay. Well, the group home I work at, back in the 70s, the residents there were called retarded.
Now they're just
In
old.
the 80s and 90s, they were called clients. When I started working there, they were called residents. Well, now, in order to make sure that we don't offend anyone, they are called people that we support. And I, on the other hand, because I find this sort of renaming to be annoying, just call them carbon-based life forms. As for kayfabe, well, we got to keep kayfabe on that.
Actually, the funny thing is that when you were having us, you had let us know what you wanted to talk about this time. It reminded me of a story because you were talking about the comic book stores and everything like that, and it made and I know you used to work at Cinders, but
Porn there.
yeah, I know. Well, the thing is, I shopped there a lot when I was younger, and in my first job, I was dispatching for a locksmith and for security systems. And at one point, we were talking to the locksmith, and he was trying to find a subway that needed the front door relocked. And I'm trying to give him directions. It was up in Crystal. And he's like, no, I don't see it. And I'm telling him where to go, and he keeps arguing with me that it's not there. And finally I stopped, and I yelled over the radio, look, it's right across the street from a Shinders. There was just dead silence, and then, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, we never did ask Jen about the first time she went into a comic shop.
Has she been in a comic shop?
I've been in comic shops.
On purpose?
Yep.
Well, why don't you tell the story of the first time you went to one?
Because I'm hungry.
Okay.
We gotta save something for next week.
I won't be on
There's
next
not-
week.
2 weeks.
There's not going to be
Oh, she's going to be really hungry then.
Yeah.
Well, it's the perfect time for her to tell the story then.
Is all this going to be on there?
I may edit it in. I don't know anymore.
Movies.
I don't know anymore.
Oh, I didn't know if we ended or not. I don't know.
Well, I've got the ending, but I can always mix stuff in.
Always a soft ending. Huh?
No, I like
Yeah,
it. You
good.
just leave all this crap after the music.
Movies.
Oh, by the way,
Extra 30 minutes after you close.
Yeah, you should do that. Wait. Good night.